Hey guys, it's me, Claire. Welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a reading wrap-up the last 2 months, and the dilemma with that is that I have read a lot of books those 2 months. I just didn't want to feel a wrap-up just because I didn't want to. And probably because I was reading and I just wanted to read. It's fine. I just haven't had to do much the last 2 months, so I've just kind of been grinding out books. And I'm aware that May is not over yet, but I definitely have enough books to wrap up, and I'll definitely talk about the next few books, I think, in different videos, probably. I feel like I also just haven't talked about a lot of the books that I've been reading the past 2 months. Well, I've talked about some, and I'll gloss over those if I've talked about them in other videos, if I remember if I've put them in a video or not. Some of these I have not talked about, at all. Because I just binge read a lot. Mini books. And I'll talk about a few of the books that I'm planning on reading the rest of this month, which is, the next week, basically. So I'm gonna be referring to my book bullet journal throughout this whole thing, because there are many books to talk about. Oh, I've read over 40 books in the last 2 months, so we don't need to talk about it. That's fine. Now it's fine doing a wrap up because I read so many. So the first book that I read in April was Unravel Me by Becca Mack. And I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 3 stars, but enjoyment wise, I feel like it was higher. This series, I know some people get cringed out with the way that Becca Mack describes some things, and it's not a serious series at all. But I think especially by that last book, or I guess the last book comes out soonish, but by that 4th book, I think, could be wrong. It was really entertaining to see the group of guys together. Once again, I know they annoy some people, but I feel like to me, it was just so entertaining to watch. I wrote that I was slightly giggling and kicking my feet, but I had a silly goofy time reading it. So the next book I read was City of Souls and Sinners by Kayla Edwards, the second or third book in the House of Devils series, and I really enjoyed this one. I feel like my main problem with the first book was that Lauren just wouldn't stand up for herself or do anything to help herself, and I like a female main character, specifically in fantasy books and other books as well, but fantasy books in particular. I want them to be able to do things and have agency and actually be able to help themselves some, and Lauren in that first book. In the second book, she started to finally be able to push her limits a little bit, and I really appreciated that. I then also reread Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone because I was in Edinburgh, and I really enjoyed that experience rereading it there. It was fun and silly goofy, and I don't know. I'll use the phrase silly goofy 10 million times. I love Harry Potter. Don't like J.K. Rowling. I'll preface that. And then I read Fall With Me by Becca Mack, which is, I don't even know which book that one. Actually, I think that is the 4th one. Sorry. Don't write things down like that in here. Unravel Me was 3rd. I think it basically stands by exactly what I said last time. I feel like with that series in particular, communication could also be better with pretty much all of the characters. But, yeah. Basically the same thing as that third one? I don't actually know. Couldn't tell you. I then read The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. Nothing earth-shattering. I give it 3 stars. I feel like the Dream Harbor series is one that I find amusing, but I like other books significantly more. Even other, romance books that I find amusing and entertaining, I don't know. I feel like Dream Harbor ranks relatively low on my list of books that I super like, but, I'm gonna read them all. At this point, might as well. So, I then read Crossroads and Sunlight by Devney Perry, and I enjoyed this little duology. It might be a trilogy. I feel like it could be. I read both of them. I think I read them in the span of 48 hours. Yeah, I did. I read them in a span of 48 hours. Oh, the first book I had a problem with pacing. I felt by the end of the book, I was it didn't feel satisfying. The ending, I read it and I was oh, that was it. I feel like it could have been communicated. The main problem of the whole relationship was miscommunication. And I couldn't see a reason why it wasn't communicated. She just didn't feel like telling him that information, but it wouldn't have hurt her. Wouldn't really have hurt him. I don't understand. But that one felt off to me, but I read it really fast, so sure. Sunlight, I thought the pacing was a lot better, and The Secret made more sense overall. I could get behind, it made more sense. It was still miscommunication because Devney Perry really likes that, keeping a secret and then telling that at the end. but it made more sense in this one why it was a secret rather than like in Crossroads. And I read City of Lies and Legends, which is the 4th House of Devils book, I believe. This one was much more plot heavy, which I really enjoyed. A lot more happened. I feel like we were slightly less focused on the romance. Oh, I like the addition of POVs and characters. I like the new characters, and I was really interested to see where they go. Sometimes when you add POVs, I don't care. Like, Throne of Glass is a great example. Do I appreciate those POVs now? Yes. Did I like them when I first got them? No. I just want to be with the original characters. This one, I really liked being in the new POVs, so that's definitely thumbs up for that. And the ending of that, I need the next book. It comes out either in June or July, I don't remember. I think July. I need it now. Hand it over. But I will be reading that out when it comes out, probably day of, because I need it now. Next I read So You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I read it really quickly. I read it in the span of like a day. I think it's a lot less happy than the other ones. Not that Abby Jimenez books are necessarily happy for the whole book, but like throughout this entire book, the characters are getting hit by hit by hit of bad things happening to them, and it was just a lot. The main character's mom has dementia, and the main characters meet. The main female character is going to go stay and help with her mom. But she lives currently in Minnesota, I think, or Midwest region. I don't really know. But she's moving to California to be with her mom. But before she moves to California, she goes on this one date with our other main character, and they really hit it off, and they want to keep dating, but she's like, I'm moving to California. And so they're trying to figure it out. But he can't leave because he's a vet and he owns a practice that's too new for him to be able to leave it. And she has her mom with dementia, so they can't be together really. So you're just figuring out how they deal with that. I then read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Not a lot needs to be said about that. I had a good time. It was a really fast read. I read it in one day. Then I read The Last Second Chance by Lucy Score. I've been like trying to read the Blue Moon Ranch. Is that what it's called? It's something of that nature. I was a little hesitant about reading this one because the Goodreads reviews aren't great, and the summary didn't sound super good to me. Well, like, you knew what happened kinda, but like, it's second chance romance, and I was a little hesitant, but I did enjoy it. I gave it 3 stars. It was solid. I'll keep reading it. I feel like I give all those 3 stars. They're not my favorite series, but like, they're a good palate cleanser read when I want it. Then we dive into the reason why I read so many books in the last 2 months. And that's because I started the Addicted Calloway Sister series. So this series follows, well, it starts off with Lily and Lo. They're both addicts. Lo is an alcoholic, Lily is a sex addict. And you follow them at the beginning where they're enabling each other, but they still do really love each other. So it's a lot. A lot happens because the book series is 10 books, all of which I read in April besides Some Kind of Perfect. And I'll just kind of talk about the series as a whole for now. But I really enjoy it. Like, it's got plot, but like, this is a character study series. You're following all these characters and their lives over the span of so many years. Probably 5 years. The last book covers like the last like 10, 15 years or something. Like, it's a lot. You see so much of these characters. You see them grow, you see them learn, and it's really beautiful and fun to see. I really enjoyed it. I'd say it's like a 4 or 5 star series for me. I feel like I don't rate a lot of, well, okay. So the first 2 books, I enjoyed. I gave them 3 stars, but like, I wasn't in it yet. Third book hit, I was in it. I understood the assignment. I get it. I understand the love, and it's so good. And then I took a little break. I'll come back to that book. And then I read Kiss the Sky and House Flower, and I really enjoyed the books following the other Calloway sisters. I think I like their books more because Lily and Lois are a bit repetitive, which makes sense because they're addicts, and so it's a cycle, and you see that. It checks out, makes sense. But I liked the other sisters more. I was a little sketched out for Mike and Daisy's, but still a little bit. Like, I still feel iffy about it, but like, I still enjoyed it. I just wish she was like a little older, just a little bit. but I still really enjoyed it. And took another break. Come back to those. And then I read the rest of them. So I read Thrive, Addicted After All, Fuel the Fire, and Long Way Down. And all of which I rated 4 stars, and they're so good. I had the best time reading them. And then Some Kind of Perfect. I rated 4 stars. Love them. We'll continue reading. We're not done with Krista and Becca Ritchie. We'll come back to them. But we have a little bit of time till then. So, between those books, I read Wash Me by Tom Rafi, which is the newest installment of the Shattered Me world. Kind of the same series, but different. We're following James, which we see him in the first series, but he's a lot younger in the first series. He's some character's younger brother. So, because of that, you see him, but you don't see him as a fully fleshed out character at that point. So seeing him as a real character was really interesting to see, and seeing how the characters from the original series act as adult was also so entertaining for me to read, and getting to see how their lives are now, but also seeing that their problems aren't quite over yet. The things you think they've fully defeated, they haven't. So, and I liked the other main female character too. She was entertaining, so I was excited to see where this series goes. Could the Shatter Me series definitely be over at this point? Yes, but I'll take it. I'll accept it. Whatever. Then I read The Mine Order, which is my next edition of my reread for the Bone Season series, because I wanted to read all the re-edited versions of the Bone Season series. So, read that. Gave it 4 stars. Solid. Next, I listened to Throne of Glass on audio. I decided I wanted to do a Throne of Glass reread, but I didn't want to read it physically, and I was doing chores and things, so I got a whole bunch done and had to drive a decent amount, so read that. Always a good time to reread that. I reread The Song Rising, which is the 3rd book in the Bone Season series. I gave that 4 stars as well. I read Fearless by Lauren Roberts, which I gave 3.5 stars. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it more than I liked Reckless, but I think my main problem was that I didn't super love one of the major characters. His ending I didn't love. I feel like it could have been wrapped up a lot more satisfyingly. Like, I kind of liked where it went, but it kind of fell off when it came to him, if that makes sense. I also there was another side character that I didn't love how they ended his story either, but I feel like more dimension could have been added if it had ended differently. I read Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. I gave that 3 stars. I enjoyed the end of this series. I liked, because we've been seeing these 2 characters in particular. It's a cowboy romance series, but we've been seeing these 2 characters throughout a lot of the other ones and seeing their past through this. I didn't mind the flashbacks, because the flashbacks were pretty short, so I think it felt okay to me. I didn't mind them. They were interesting to read, I think. Next, I read Wrath of the Triple Goddess, which is the newest installment of the Percy Jackson series, and it was really goofy. I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't anything crazy or adding much to the world, but it's always entertaining to see those characters, and Rick Riordan's writing is always something that I enjoy. I like the jokes he makes. They stand up for 10-year-olds and for 20-year-olds, and over that, I think, too. But I appreciate them. I'll probably continue to read them because I just want to know where these characters end up. Alright, back we go to Krista and Becca Ritchie. I decided to read Whatever It Takes and Wherever We Are, which follows Willow and Garrison that are seen in the first series. But you just don't see their plot lines too much in that one because it's not following them. It makes sense. I thought they were really cute. It was Rory and Jessica were kind of. I enjoy the nerdiness and geekiness. Appreciate it. This one also had a lot of flashbacks, but I liked it because you got to see other parts. You got to re-see some of the scenes you see in the other series, but from these characters' POVs, it changes your perspective on it. Because sometimes when they do that, I don't like it, but I think I just like these characters so much that it was really beneficial for me. So I wasn't sure if I was going to read the children's of all the Addicted series. all of those characters, their children's series. I read it. All 13 books. In order. Binge read it all. Had a great time. Had a great time. I read Damaged Like Us, Lovers Like Us, Alphas Like Us, Tangled Like Us, Sinful Like Us, Headstrong Like Us, Charming Like Us, Wild Like Us, Fearless Like Us, Lucky Like Us, Infinimous Like Us, Misfits Like Us, and Nobody Like Us. Most of which I gave 3 stars. I think the ones that I gave 4 stars, well, I gave Charming Like Us 3.5 stars. I gave Unlucky Like Us, Infamous Like Us, Misfits Like Us, Nobody Like Us 4 stars. I feel like this is like a 4-star series for me. I feel like, once again, I gave them some of those 3 stars, but I still like really enjoyed them. I love getting to see these characters, and one of the main reasons people don't like this series is because they feel like it makes you look at the parents in a bad light, but I didn't think so. I thought it was interesting seeing how what you saw as them as like younger 20-year-olds, how that would translate to an adult, like a more fully formed adult, like 40, 50-year-olds, how that would like ingrain in them. And it made sense. Like how the characters were behaving, it made sense for their characters. Like based upon their backstories and their traumas and everything that's happened to them, the way they act made sense. So it didn't make me like the parents any less. It just made them feel more real to me, if that makes sense. Because they might not say the best things, but they didn't in the original series either. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Exploring the bodyguard and billionaire dynamics, like the bodyguard and then the person they're protecting, exploring those dynamics made sense. Because to me, one of the biggest problems after reading the series had with the bodyguards dating the people they protected was that there's a power imbalance, and yes, there can be, but however, these kids that are being protected, they literally only talk to their siblings, cousins, that's it. They don't hang out with like barely anyone else because they can't. So the only other people they're hanging out with their age are bodyguards. So I'm like, what do you think was gonna happen? How else were they gonna meet literally anyone? In my personal opinion. So, this one was definitely much more spicy than the original series, because none of them are like addicts for the most part. So like, and there wasn't really anything preventing them from having a relationship with their bodyguards, as I said. Like there was things preventing it, but less so. So definitely spicier. Then the last book that I finished up for now, for this month, was Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. To continue on with my audiobook reread of the Throwing Glass series. So I read that, rated it 5 stars because it was a reread, and I just really love the Throwing Glass series. I don't know if I've listened to the audiobooks before. I've definitely listened to them some, but not all of them, and I do like it, so you know, that works. That's all the books that I've read. It was 44 books, I believe. I have no problems. We're just going. It's fine. So the books that I'm reading for the rest of May are, the one I'm currently reading is Fool's Assassin, I believe, or yeah, this is the first book of the last Realm of the Elderling series, and I've wanted to finish that this year, so started that. I'm like 25% in, really enjoying it so far. The Fitz books are my favorite ones out of the whole Realm of the Elderlings. Like, I like the dragons and the ships and everything else, but I definitely like Fitz's books the best, because I think I just really enjoy getting to see a character grow and develop, and so getting to follow just Fitz throughout like all the stages of his life, I really appreciate and enjoy. And then Tuesday, 2 anticipated releases. 1 very anticipated release comes out on Tuesday, and that is Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh, and I'm so excited for this book. Tuesday morning I will be going to the bookstore and purchasing it and then reading it all day. Do I have an internship to work on? Yeah. But my plan is to get most of it done today and tomorrow, so I can just read on Tuesday. Because the likelihood of me finishing that in one day, high. So, thrilled to read that. And then Problematic Summer Romance by Allie Hazelwood comes out, which I know a little bit about, not a ton. I know there's a big age gap, and that's basically all I know. But I like Allie Hazelwood, so I'll go for it. So I'll probably read those 2. I also haven't read like any of the other recent releases because I've been binge reading those two series. I haven't read Rewind It Back, The Conditions of Will, Great Big Beautiful Life. I haven't read any of them, so, and I'm excited about all of them. I've just been binge reading, so there's that. Yeah, but I think that's it for today's video. If you want to see more videos like this and a lot of reading vlogs, because that's mostly what I film, then go ahead and check out my channel. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.